$16,075, which is pretty good, but it does come with some quite large caveats. So sit down and get comfy, and I suppose we can talk about them. So on July 22nd, 2025, I launched my debut game, which is called The Biggle Boss Incident. It is a 2D hand-drawn point-and-click adventure game, which retails for, I think it is $14. It's like £12.79 on Steam. I also released it on iOS at the same time, and it is the culmination of 5 years of work, which if you care to, you can go back through this channel and watch the entire making of. So I'm not going to go too far into like marketing, because other than talking about the game on this channel, not a lot of what I did really hit anywhere. You know, I had a big chart full of like posts I was making for social media. I'd emailed a bunch of influencers and journalists and stuff and offered them keys, but nothing really came of that, I would say. I don't think the game had any real coverage anywhere, to be honest, other than me banging on about it. But yeah, July 22nd, hit the big button on Steam and we went live. Release my app. It is available. Buy the Biggle Boss Incident introductory offer.
How's that feel?
Weird. So launching a game is completely terrifying. I don't think I've ever felt quite so vulnerable in my entire life, and I spent the entire morning just like convinced that not only what I'd released was bad, but that would actively break on everyone's machines. And you know, there's a Discord server attached to this channel, and every time somebody typed anything in there and I could see typing happening, I was convinced it was going to be like, game doesn't launch, what have you done, you're an idiot. So yeah, it is a really scary day and week, in fact. Before any like reviews start to come in, you just beset with all these ideas that what you're doing is bad, and it's a kind of a feeling unlike any other, because you've finished this huge project and you're really proud of yourself, but at the same time you're just convinced that you are a fool and it's all been for nothing. Thankfully it wasn't all for nothing, and for a start I have to thank this channel for that. So before we do dive into the stats and stuff, I just want to say, if you bought the game because you came via this channel or the Discord, then thank you so much. And if you left a review, thank you so much. And if you left a nice comment, thank you. All that support really helped me through that weird week, but also helped the game go on to do, I think, quite well. So look, this is all down to you. I think without your support, game would have just launched into crickets and tumbleweed and stuff. Anyway, that's all boring. You want to hear about numbers. So let's talk about numbers. So I guess the first thing I was really conscious of after sort of like blanking out for that first 24 hours.
What happened? I blacked out.
Was that in 48 hours the game had grossed $6,000, and I think to make the game it cost me something like $4,000. So I was like, this is good. You know, like sales are strong from the start, and more to the point, people were being kind enough to leave reviews quite quickly. And on Steam, when you get I think 10 reviews that are positive, you get a positive rating, but if you get that quickly it puts you in front of more people, and that kind of has a bit of a snowbally effect, which I think was really nice. And I got to that point, you know, within 24 hours, and I think I got into very positive on Steam within a week, which is great. So yeah, bear with me, I'm just going to read out stats and I'll put them on the screen and you can pretend that this is really interesting. So at launch the game had 3,500 wish lists, which is less than I wanted, because everyone says you need 7,000 to hit the kind of new and trending, so I didn't hit new and trending. But within 1 week the Steam gross was $8,638. The App Store gross was $1,760, which gives us a total of $10,398 within 1 week gross.
Gross!
Within 1 month, that total was $16,075, as I mentioned. On Steam, it was just over 11,000, and on App Store, just over 5,000. Units, Steam 793 in that month, and App Store 1,000 in that month. Reviews, 50 Steam reviews, mostly positive in 1 week, as I mentioned. 80 reviews in 1 month. 4.9 stars in the month out of 47 reviews on the App Store, and right now it's 111 Steam reviews at the time of making this video. Very positive, 95%. and return rate or refund rate of 3%, which I think is good. And the App Store reviews are 4.8 stars with 91 reviews. So good. Oh, it's all good. And I think maybe this suggests that I've made something that isn't terrible. Now, the editing version of me will put on the screen the sort of Steam charts as I talk about this, but obviously things haven't sustained at that level. So you can see for yourself as I'm talking the gross on Steam now. On the App Store at the time of writing, I think the gross is something like $8,000. So you can work that out for yourself, but you can clearly see where things really trail off and start to become a little trickle. And that's expected, right? Hopefully you have a big launch, but you can't sustain that, so things will trickle off and find a natural pattern. But what I didn't really count on was the sales on Steam being quite a powerful thing. So you're allowed to discount your game, I think it's like once a month or once every like 45 days or something like that. And whereas in a day-to-day basis now the game shifts between 2 and like 5 units a day on Steam, during those sale periods those numbers really pick back up. And that is because after launch, whereas I started with 3,500 wish lists, I now have like 6,500 wish lists, which is something I didn't really consider happening, is that more people go, okay, this game's out now, but I'm not going to buy it right now, but I might buy it when it's on sale. And so I can see that over the length of the game's life, however long that is, obviously the goal will be to convert all of those wish lists, which probably won't happen, but most of that is going to happen during these sale periods. So it's a game with two halves really, where you trundle along with a certain number and then your week-long sales pick up most of your sales. So yeah, it's been about 3 months now, and I guess the total gross is something like $27,000, which is amazing. But do you remember the start of the video when I said about big caveats? But it does come with some quite large caveats. Now, I've seen videos like this in the past where people talk about their sales and then they always start droning on about how Steam takes a cut and then the tax man takes a cut, and my reaction to that has always been like, yeah, that's boring though, you're taking the fun out of the money. But I've come to realise why they talk about that so prominently, and it is because, yeah, a lot of that money goes away. And so, for example, with my 1 month Steam gross being $11,000, a few things happen. One is, obviously, I work in pounds, which is a less impressive sounding number than dollars is. Then Steam takes its 30%. Then there are like taxes, like sales tax on top of that. And so when I got my first month report from Steam, that $11,000 became £5,000, which is great, but it's obviously quite a long way away from what 11,000 is as a number in your head. And then at some point next year I will need to tax that, so that will become even less. So yeah, it is a bit disheartening, but you know, in the bigger picture, people are buying the thing I made, which is mad enough in itself, and so anything that's coming in is good. So what I've been thinking about is this has been transformative for me, and not in the sense that the raw amount of money that I might earn in this entire year is transformative in like a life-changing way in and of itself, but it's more like it's shown me a roadmap to like what could be. There's been a shift from this being a fun hobby that's consumed a bunch of time outside of my like day job to what if, you know, if not game 2 but game 3, what if by that point it is my job? You know, if you have all of these things on sale at once and if you can maintain some level of quality, then yeah, maybe game development as a sort of solo career could be feasible. And so for me personally, it's opened up a kind of 5-year plan of, could I make that happen? Could I make a second game in a few years and a third game in a couple of years after that, and see where we're at? You know, there's so much in the news at the minute about game development being kind of financially unstable, but if you don't bet the farm and you just by yourself, who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I've got one bit of like advice or a learning from all this before I dismiss anyone who isn't a regular subscriber to the channel, and that is try and build a community, I guess, if you are making a game. So I know that's easier said than done, and I've been very lucky to sort of bootstrap this YouTube thing to the point it's at, but all of my emails to journalists and streamers and stuff got me nowhere. But the people that watch this channel, a good number of them bought the game and then reviewed it, and then that helped me springboard above where this game would land without that support. So I think the community around this channel and the Discord server have just been fundamental to getting the game where it is, I guess. So yeah, if I had any worthwhile advice, it would be go back in time 5 years make a bad YouTube video called how to make a point and click adventure game, mop up a bunch of search term traffic that way, and then keep stumbling your way through YouTube until you have enough people to, for some reason, want to buy the weird thing you've made. That's advice you can take to the bank. So that's the end of the money chat, I guess. You don't make these kind of videos to sort of gloat. It's just really interesting, I think, to other developers, because I've found these videos interesting in the past. And now, if you just got here because of the sort of clickbaity number side of things, you can go. Thanks very much for watching. But if you have been subscribed to the channel for a long time, hi, and thanks again. But you might want to know what's next. So yeah, quite clearly the game development bug has struck, and I've been making something. I am really bad at ongoing marketing, so this game is released and in my mind it's in the bin and I'm on to the next thing. And I'm pretty excited about the next thing, so I'm going to continue to make YouTube videos about it. And actually, I am recording the first video for that new series immediately after recording this one, and it should be on the channel fairly soon. And I can't really wait to show you what I've been doing, because I think it's quite cool and quite different. So if you're up for another who knows amount of years of this journey, then yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it. I've got a whole other shirt and everything. So season 2. We're off. So yeah, thanks again for watching, for buying Bigger Boss if you have, for leaving a review if you have, and I'll see you pretty soon.
I'm trying to save you.
From the bathroom?
From this company, idiot.
Amy, listen to me. There was a guy in the vent.
And what did this mystery vent graffiti artist say?
Oh, for the love of...
Mostly conspiratorial stuff about the company.
In that case, I see those giant rats up here every Friday evening.
Okay, this is just getting silly now.
Sir, please ignore any visual inconsistencies and continue about your day.
So, what's it like being a robot?
Every moment I live is agony.
Oh god, really?
No.
Weird question, but what can you tell me about Bigger Boss Inc.?
They are weak, fragile nothings.
What do we do here?
You don't know what we do at the company you work for.
Little advice?
Sure.
Things you say to HR aren't really confidential.
I see. In that case, forget I said anything.
Oh, dear sweet Tom. You just don't get it, do you?
So stay alert. He'll be through here, I know it.
Why are you still here? This building, this whole company, it's a sham.
Isn't every company? Just turn up, do the work, and remember the company motto. There is nothing sinister happening at Bigger Boss Inc.
Sound good?
I don't know about good, but it sure sounds like something that's about to happen.